Well, hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Sorry I have been not posting videos on my channel, and I actually just started to take a break, honestly, for the past couple of weeks from social media because your girl caught COVID at the end of 2020. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about that story and what the journey was like, so stay tuned. And if it is your first time on my channel, hello, my name is Anom, and I post videos up every single week about my life and what I love and the people that I do life with, so hit the subscribe button down below if you want to find out more about me. So basically, COVID-19. Long story short, December 27th, my brother was exposed to someone who was positive for COVID, and so he told us about it. We all got tested the day after, and everyone's results were negative except mine. And I'm like, great, cool, awesome. And on Monday when I did get tested, I was like starting to lose like my sense of smell, and I was like, what the heck? Like, what is this from? Like, I have no idea, because I had recently gotten a cold, and whenever I get like a common cold, I always lose my sense of smell, but it comes back like a day or two later because of like my nose being congested. And so the fact that it was like getting lost again, I was like, oh my gosh, what is this? Like, am I getting another cold again? And so when I got tested, it came back positive. I was like, okay, it just makes so much more sense. And pretty much I didn't get it from my brother who was exposed to that person, which, you know, I'm glad that everyone in my family was negative. Like, I'm grateful for that, but I must have gotten it from someone who didn't know they had it, which I'm not blaming them. Like, you know, this virus is so confusing, honestly. It's a mystery sometimes, and I don't understand it, but everyone's symptoms are like different. It's a case-by-case basis. Some may have the virus but show no symptoms. Some, of course, have the virus and show maybe a couple of the symptoms or one of them. So it's just so weird. And during the whole 14-day quarantine, that was the only symptom that I got, which I was like, oh, I was so grateful for. I lost it in the beginning of the quarantine, and then the last couple of days towards the end of the quarantine, my smell started to come back. It's not fully back yet, but it is just slowly getting back, and they say it can take up to a couple weeks and maybe even, I think, a couple months, and I'm like, oh my gosh. But you know, I'm grateful that I can start to smell again. It's just taking its sweet time. But yeah, that was a journey in and of itself, of being quarantined by myself, isolated in my room. Side note, for those of you who know me, know that I live with my parents and my brother, and the fact that I couldn't be out and about in like my whole house was just so hurtful, because I literally just had to keep my family safe and be in my room completely isolated. The only time I went out of my room was if I needed to go to the bathroom, I needed something to eat, like it would be early in the morning to grab that, midday because there's like no one in my house during like the middle of the day, and then late at night when everyone was sleeping. Those were the only times that I could like go out of my room, and I had a mask on as well. So the fact that I couldn't like even just see my family was so hurtful. Like, I shed some tears on a couple of the days in quarantine because I just felt so alone. And one of the reasons why, like I said in the beginning, I wasn't on social media, because I just felt like everyone was doing something and I just couldn't go out anywhere, and it was honestly depressing. And so basically there was a lot of like self-reflecting that I did during the 14 days, and other than having that one symptom of losing my sense of smell, I had no other symptoms that showed up. I was healthy as a horse. Like, I felt great, honestly. And one of the things that I just want to say on a side note is, if you have a friend who has COVID-19, please check up on them. Like, please, to let them know that they're not alone. As soon as I told my friends and my family that I had COVID-19, like, it's almost as if like they all just like stepped back and didn't want to text me. But that's not the case. That's just all in my head. But a lot of my friends, like my core group of friends, like texted me every single day making sure I was okay. They're like, hey, how are you doing today? Was today a better day? What are you gonna do today? Like, making sure like I felt like I was still in the routine of things, which still didn't feel like I was, because I literally, guys, I'm in my room isolated on my bed, sitting upright, laying down, on the floor, sitting upright, laying down, back on my bed. It was a vicious cycle. Like, it just never ended. So basically, they were checking in on me, and I could not be more thankful for my family and friends. Like, seriously, they kept me sane through this whole thing. And with that, besides like the tears that I shed, and the reflecting that I was like digging deep in myself, I had a lot of time to like journal, and it was so therapeutic. Getting everything that was in my head down on a piece of paper was so beneficial. And just seeing everything, like I said, on paper, and like telling myself, like, what do I really want in this life? What really matters in this life? Like, what do you want to do in 2021? What are your dreams and your goals? And during that 14-day quarantine, it just gave me so much perspective and so much to be thankful for, and to look at what matters. Like, as I get older, the things that matter most become very clear. That's ultimately Jesus, that is my family, and that is my friends. That's it. Like, as long as I can do life with them, like, I'm gonna be set for the rest of my life. And for those people that think that they can live alone and not do life with anyone, I'm sorry, but I just completely disagree with you. You cannot. Like, we need people to live this life, to survive, and honestly have fun. Like, I can't live alone. Like, that's just, it's not in the cards for me. I've learned that as the number one thing out of this quarantine, that you cannot do life alone. And I'm just so forever grateful for the people that God has put in my life. But yes, this quarantine was hard. I'm honestly glad that I did go through it. It was very stretching in the sense of like personal growth, professional growth, and it was just really, really nice to honestly have some downtime, not gonna lie. But it's like weird now that I'm out of quarantine. I have the green light from my doctor to like start seeing people, but see them slowly, because she's like, you don't want to overwhelm yourself. But it's just from being like alone in my room, isolated for 14 days straight, it's like that's all I'm used to. I'm like, I almost just want to stay home and not see anyone, but I'm like, no, you are okay now. Like, your smell's coming back, you got the green light from the doctor, and you're going to start seeing people slowly. It's just like, when you're alone, it just does something to you mentally for that long. And so again, please check in on your family and friends who have COVID. I cannot highly encourage that enough, because they will know that they are not alone in this. But yes, I just learned so much about myself, and that is what I wanted to share with you. And I hope that it just encourages you, and you know, maybe you found something helpful out of this video. And I also did do a 14-day vlog of myself being in quarantine, and I kind of dive in a little bit more deeper on like what I was feeling, my symptoms, how it progressed, how it didn't, and kind of just like what I went through on a day-to-day basis. And it's basically a minute video for 14 days. So check out that vlog, because that is also live on my channel as well. But if you found this video whatsoever helpful, then don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And if you have any questions related to what I went through and my quarantine experience, mention that in the comment section down below, and I will answer them for you. But yeah, as I'm getting back into the groove of things, I literally am so excited for the videos to come. Thank you in advance for being patient with me as I find that groove and I find that routine again from not being quarantined. And so it's going to be fun and exciting. And oh my gosh, I didn't even mention this. I forgot to mention this. I watched 3 series while I was in this quarantine. I watched the whole series of The Mindy Project, The Magicians, and A Discovery of Witches. Like, what else are you gonna do? And I did a lot of journaling, like I said, and I read my Bible, and I listened to some podcasts, and I did listen to a couple books on Audible, so I'm very proud of that. But yes, I hope you are all having a really great week. I'm looking forward to the videos to come in 2021, and I cannot wait to see you next week. Bye!